Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a while. I've had a few life-changing events happen recently. So I bought my house, my first house. So that was a big achievement. So I've been sort of hands down with painting and all that other naff stuff that you need to deal with. And then I've also had a few things going on with work as well. So it's been very busy at the moment. And on top of that, I actually bought a new car. So today is my car reveal.
Open your eyes. Are we dreaming? Do you love me? I love you.
So yeah, I bought M240i. I was looking at them for a while. It was quite sad to see the Mini go, I must admit, but I feel like I've made a good change, and I'll probably do a video at some point talking about why I bought this and sold the Mini, but that can be different that can be left for another video. So I'm going to take you for a drive. Specs on, so all's good. Let's start this baby up. Oh, that is nice. So on this M240i, I spec'd the automatic option. I say I spec'd, it was the only one that I could find. There wasn't many manuals, which was a bit of a shame, because I'm a manual kind of guy. But after living with this car for a good couple of weeks now, I'm actually getting used to the auto, and it's not as bad as everybody, well, if new viewers are watching this, probably think, oh, why did you choose an auto? Well, it's not actually a bad auto. It's the ZF gearbox. It is an 8-speed. Lots of YouTubers enjoy this type of gearbox. It's been commended as a very good one through various different car reviewers, and safe to say it does the job. I've driven other automatics in my time. They're not so great. They're a bit dim-witted, they're a bit slow, but this one seems to be doing the job quite nicely. It kicks down when you need it to kick down. Brings you up to the right speed. The only issue I find sometimes with this car when I'm driving it in auto mode is between sort of 70 and 75 mile an hour. Is if you keep the speed limit at that time, it doesn't really know which gear it wants to be in. It's probably not the car's fault. It's probably more the software. I don't know. You can map that type of thing out, but it is what it is. So why did I buy the M240i? Well, I'll be honest, I wanted a bit of a change of scene. I lived with a Mini for a while. I had it for 4 years. And as much as I like the front wheel driveness and I like the drive of it, I wanted a change. So what I did was I scoured the internet. I knew that I wanted a 140 a long time ago, but finance wise it didn't really work out. It was about £350 a month, and I was like, I'm not going to pay that. So I thought I'll wait a bit, and that's why I got the Mini. And then now I've gotten to that stage where I'm earning a little bit more money, and I thought, well, might as well treat myself. So I bought this because I wanted rear wheel drive. I wanted, well, mainly just to experience rear wheel drive, to be honest. And I looked at a few others. Obviously you've got your Mercs, your Jags, and as much as I like Mercs, I wouldn't exactly say they were in the price range at that point. I also, when I looked at Jags, yeah, they're good, but they've also got that reputation of not being as reliable as other cars. Not saying BMW's are the most reliable car, but Jag's got a bit of a thing going for it. Quite a few Jag cars also get nicked as well, which is a bit of a shame. Speak of the devil, there's one right now. But I've always wanted a BMW, and I thought, well, what's the best way to do it? M2s, M4s, M3s. M4 would be my dream car. Maintenance wise, it's not that great. It's very expensive to keep up. Fuel, worse than this. Brakes, too expensive, let's be honest. But I thought, if I'm going to have a BMW, why not make the first one a good one? And that's why I went for the 240i. So if you don't know anything about the 240i, and I assume there's a few of you that do, well, a few of you that don't know what a 240i is, it's BMW's famous B58 engine. It is a 3-litre inline 6, standard brake, 335 bhp, but they are known to do more. So BMW don't like to claim that, but it's true. You see a few dyno videos, and they're doing probably around the 360 mark, which is way more than an M2. Well, not an M2 comp, but a standard OG M2. So when picking this car, I really wanted a good spec one. And when you're looking in the 20 to 22,000 pounds price range, you're a bit out of luck. But you can find a jet. Luckily, I found this one. So after looking at about, I'd say about 3 or 4 of them, going to visit them, they weren't really doing it for me. They didn't really feel that special, and I wanted one that made it feel special, because it's my first BM, let's be honest. I know the Mini had a BMW engine, but still. But I really wanted to try and keep as close to the spec as I had on the Mini, and that was a fully spec car. So with this car, I was quite lucky with this one. So I got the red leather seats, and I'll be honest, they are so much better than the black. They just make the car feel more special than it is. Some people don't like the red leather. I think it really pops. I wanted Harman Kardon as well, and there were a few that had it, but then they weren't paired with the Pro Nav, and the Pro Nav screen is what you need to make it feel like a more complete car. I think the standard small screen looks trash, to put it lightly. It doesn't look good. It makes the car feel more cheap. And I know this is the cheapest BMW in the lineup, the 1 and the 2, but the small screen just really makes it cheap. Like, it's just a personal preference I like. I really wanted to get one that was an LCI. Obviously the LCIs, if you don't know, they have, the best way of spotting them is the front headlights are a bit different, and also the LCIs come with digital stroke analog dials. So it's weird, they're not fully digital, but they are like that analog digital kind of display. I don't know the best way to describe it, but you'll see it in the footage, like they're different, and I'll flash up a picture of ones that are pre-LCI. As a bit of a sucker, just because I live in Britain, and when it does get cold, it's very cold, I wanted heated seats. Now a lot of the cars don't get specced with heated seats, and it's a personal preference, you know, you don't need them. I didn't really need them, to be fair, but this one luckily had it, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to love a nice warm arse in the morning if it gets really cold. So that's a good thing as well. Another option that I wanted on this car was parking sensors. Now, I think all 2 Series or all 240i's have rear sensors. It would have been nice to have the fronts. The Mini had the fronts, which is probably a bit unnecessary for a car that small, but it's quite nice to know that you're not going to crash it. An option this car didn't come with, unfortunately, was cruise control. Now, I'll probably do another video later on of the 5 things that I hate, just because that's the type of video that's popular. But for a car that's £40,000-ish, brand new, you'd expect a car to come with cruise control. And my girlfriend just bought a Ford Fiesta, and that thing comes with it, and that car was only what, probably would have been about 24, 5 maybe, brand new. It's just, I mean, why? Like, come on. In terms of practicality, this car is very practical for a car that is 2 doors. It's a 2-door coupe. It has 4 seats, albeit you probably have to be a bit of a gymnast to get into the back, especially if you sat behind me. I'm 6'2". The space isn't going to be that great behind me, but if you're shorter, then you know, you can have a bit more room. Boot capacity is very nice. It's got plenty of space. I can actually fit in 2 trippy suitcases, which isn't what I was able to do before. So it's very handy to know that that can happen, and I can actually get some cases in this car. So good for a little weekend away. You can probably get a big suitcase in here, no problem, to be fair. So if you're worried when buying a car like this, you don't need to worry about that too much. In terms of its economy, I would say it's not as great as I thought it would be, but also it's quite good for the type of car that it is. So checking the computer now, I'm doing roughly about 26 miles to the gallon. I recently did a trip to go and pick up a car, and it was motorway mainly, but there was a lot of country roads involved as well, so do with that as you wish. I'd say 26 isn't too bad for a car that's this amount of performance. You can on a motorway run. I recently did a trip to my office. It's about 240 miles away, and I got probably about 36 miles to the gallon, which I'll be honest, compared to the last car, it's not the best. But I was surprised for a car like this that it could do that. And I know you can get them to do 40, but you just have to be very, very delicate with your foot. And I'll be honest, there was times where I just sort of floored it because I just got the car and I wanted to feel the speed. Sue me. If you are looking to buy an M240i, just remember that the car doesn't come with a limited slip diff. So if you're deciding that you want to do donuts round roundabouts like that one, just don't. There's a lot of M240i owners and M140i owners that get really annoyed. Oh, that engine. I get really annoyed at the fact that people keep crashing them. It's mainly people that run out of talent very quickly and they keep getting binned. So insurance at the moment is going up. I dread to think how much my renewal is going to be, so in November time or just December time, I'll do a bit of a cost breakdown of how much this car's cost me so far. I'm seeing quotes at the moment. Obviously it depends who you are, where you live, what your job is, things like that. New quotes are showing at about £1,200, which I don't know, it's a lot more than I was paying before. The last car was 340 for the year. But obviously with the price rise, the Mini was going to be about £700. I think it also depends as well how many mods you've got in your car. This car's standard at the moment. Probably not going to do too much on the engine just because, well, I've got a warranty on it, and to be honest, I've paid for it. I might as well keep hold of it as long as I can, just in case anything goes wrong. But who knows? I might get an exhaust. It's mainly going to be cosmetic items that I'm going to do mods on. I just want to make it a lot more standout-ish for a car that's sort of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. There we go. Why did you buy a new car? Like I said, I wanted one. I just wanted a change. But also the real reason is this B58 engine is an absolute gem. So if I was to slow down a little bit, I'm doing what, 40 mile an hour? So I'll put it in Sport Plus, foot down, 60. Honestly, the handling isn't the greatest compared to Minis and other cars. It has been right about that in the past, but you can't lie about how good this engine is. It can do both. It can drink your wallet, eat your wallet, but my god, it is so fun. Another thing about this engine is, and it's a personal taste really, it depends whether you like it or you don't, it does sound good. Insert a clip of it starting on. And here's a little rev. But yeah, it's personal choice really if you like the sound or not. I do agree with others that there should be more sound. But what can you do? We're in a current climate where cars are becoming much more quiet with GPF filters. I do need to check if this one has one, because I think the 67 plates either had them or didn't have them. It depends when they were made and when you got them. So I'll check on that one. But you know, there is opportunity for it to sound a lot better. I do agree. I'd say probably in the next year I'll have a look at getting that done. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, if you want to know more about this car, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also means that if I keep building up the channel, it means I can get more cars to review. I will be doing some more videos on this car. Like I said, I'm not got any plans at the moment to sell it anytime soon, unless insurance really shafts me. But we shall see. Like I said, few mobs I want to do to it. Not straight away. I just want to enjoy it for the car that it is. But yeah, so drop a like, drop a comment. If there is any questions that you want answering, I'll be happy to oblige. Just pop them down in the comments below. Might do a video at some point, or a bit of a Q&A type of video, so answer any questions that you have outstanding. I will be doing a video at some point outlining the likes that I have on this car, and also the dislikes. There are a couple of things, it's not a lot. But yeah, thank you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.